And now, here they are.
Pretty soon we're going to have to change that if Doug doesn't get in here, that intro. Doug, you need to get in here. He's still recuperating or on assignment, as Ed would say. And a shout out to Doug. He's doing well, though. I was speaking to Big Ed Davis in the control room. He's the control room engineer and the executive producer of the Tan Talk Radio Network. We have an exciting show for you today, right? And
I see that.
If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we have two gentlemen that are dressed in American Revolution dress. One has a militia attire, and what do you call yours?
It would be a Continental Army.
Continental Army.
George Washington's Army.
Yes, it's got a red and blue jacket, and you both have those poet shirts. I know that's not what they're called, but they're white, and you have vests, and we'll get into all of that. But I'll introduce you in a moment, and let's ask Ed if anything exciting is happening in the world of sports.
No, not really. It's pretty quiet. Other than NFL, we got games for Thanksgiving coming up. So,
all right. I just want you to know that already I messed up. Doug stays at home and he counts my okays, and I already made an okay and a couple of uhs, so I'm going to hear about it. But why don't we take a short commercial break before we get into our two guests today?
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
In 1955, the law firm now known as Perenick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes made a decision. Instead of taking whatever cases came through their doors, they decided to focus specifically on personal injury. 64 years later, the law firm is one of Clearwater's longest-running personal injury firms. Available 24 hours a day with offices in Clearwater and throughout Tampa Bay, they're ready to put decades of experience to work for you if you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or injured due to someone's negligence or recklessness. If you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or unsure about your next steps after being involved in an accident or after a loved one sustained serious injuries due to someone else's negligence, call Perenick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes at 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. That's 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. Non-attorney spokesman.
Shop the largest selection of Guy Harvey apparel, artwork, and gift items at GuyHarvey.com. From the world-renowned marine wildlife artist, the Guy Harvey online shop features the latest in performance apparel, classic Guy Harvey t-shirts, decor for every room in your home, exquisite ocean-inspired jewelry, and unique gift items, including custom merchandise not available anyplace else. Browse an extensive catalog of original Guy Harvey works of art and a full range of beautiful reproductions. As with all Guy Harvey merchandise, a percentage of sales benefits the ocean conservation, research, and education work of the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. The Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation will help ensure that future generations can enjoy and benefit from a well-balanced ocean ecosystem. Bring the undersea world into your everyday life at GuyHarvey.com.
Just about everyone is fascinated by the mafia. Books and movies like The Godfather, Goodfellas, Casino, and many others became bestsellers and box office hits. Did you know that a century ago, mobsters like Al Capone discovered Florida's tropical climate and sparse law enforcement? Mafia bosses from around the nation began setting up illegal operations in Florida. Now, for the first time, a new book titled Sunshine State Mafia, A History of Florida's Mobsters, Hitmen, and Wise Guys provides vivid stories and never-before-seen images of dangerous criminals who settled in Florida full or part-time. Written by renowned author Doug Kelly, Sunshine State Mafia exposes the hidden history of the mob throughout the state and includes Doug's own brushes with crime figures. Sunshine State Mafia is available at all major book retailers, or obtain a signed copy by calling 727-724-4949. or email sunshine-state-mafia@gmail.com.
What do the most successful companies have in common? They leverage growth by forming valuable relationships and partnerships. Amplify Clearwater puts you in touch with accomplished business and community leaders that inspires networking and helps you navigate the best courses of action for your company. Become a member and instantly acquire a powerful edge over your competitors by forming strong connections with top business leaders and elected officials. Amplify Clearwater. One community, one chamber, one vision. Contact us at amplifyclearwater.com or call 727-461-0011. That's amplifyclearwater.com. 727-461-0011.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Kelly Kelly Show. I'm Kelly Kelly. I'm here with two sons of the American Revolution. Dwight McIntyre is the president of the Clearwater chapter, and Dr. Bob Cundiff is the chaplain of the Clearwater chapter. And they are dressed in reenactment uniforms. So we're going to get into that in a second, but let's start off with telling us about you. Who wants to go first?
Well, my name is Dwight McIntyre, and I'm the current president of the Clearwater chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. I joined the chapter approximately 4.5 years ago when our secretary died, and I was anointed with the partial position of secretary. I moved up from secretary to vice president, and last year I was elected president for 2025, and this year I was also reelected for president for 2026. I came to Clearwater in 1996 as a retiree. I had retired from a large international public accounting firm. I was in Tokyo, and I came from Tokyo to Clearwater. I've had 4 different careers. I was a CPA for a large accounting firm. I was a officer in the United States Air Force and the Air National Guard. I retired after 32 years of active duty and reserve duty. I taught school at Clearwater Christian College. I was the chairman of the business division and taught most of the senior level accounting courses. And along the way, I picked up a law degree, and pretty much that's the story of my life. I retired from Clearwater Christian about, 6-7 years ago, whenever it closed. And after that, I became very active in the Sons of the American Revolution, and also active in my church. I've been a deacon, a treasurer, speaker, Sunday school teacher. That's pretty much the story of my life.
That's wonderful. And I have to point out that I am an alumni of Clearwater Christian College. And Dr. Bob Cundiff, you were also a professor there.
Yes, for 19 years, from 1996. Dwight and I came the same year. He came from Tokyo, and I came from another foreign country, Illinois.
Were you in Chicago or just the
No,
state?
I was in the other Illinois, Southern Illinois.
Southern Illinois.
That was there's a town in Southern Illinois that is a very, very old community and had a bank. And it's this small town up in Northern Illinois asked for a loan. And that little town was Chicago. And they were turned down for the loan because they figured it was too big of a risk.
Oh, wow.
And
How
I
interesting
think
is
they
that?
were right.
That's true. That's true. So what have you done? How many careers have you had? And
Well, quite a few. I most of all, I've been teaching on the college level since 1969.
wow.
So 50 some years. And I didn't teach all of those years, but I'm still teaching, and taught 19 years at Clearwater Christian College, and Taught at a small college up in Minnesota that's closed down, Pillsbury Baptist Bible College, and taught at Southern Illinois University for a few years, and then at Clearwater Christian College. And then since 1997, I've been a part-timer and adjunct at St. Petersburg College.
Okay. I went there too.
And I'm still teaching there now. Public speaking next semester, intro to speech communication this semester. And I forget what the question was. But,
Well, you
Tell
forgot
us all about you,
you
and
forgot
you're
to
doing a
mention
great
that
job.
you were also a radio
Well, yeah,
personality.
Yeah, I have spent about 6 years in radio and 5 years in television, and
Interesting.
worked in the commercial department at an ABC affiliate in Southern Illinois, and that's where I started doing voiceovers.
That's what I was
And-
going to say. That's
and I-
voiceovers.
And I still do voiceovers on occasion, and have my own little studio at home. And when I'm not too busy teaching, then I do audiobooks. I've done 5 or 6 audiobooks, and
You do one of our ads
I do one.
for
Actually,
Amplify.
yeah, I've done a couple of your ads, and Amplify is on there now, and I've done your other commercial. I don't know if it's still running, the one that does the shirts and the
Guy Harvey.
Guy Harvey, yes. And so I've helped you folks out for a number of years, and I'm happy to do it on occasion. And
Perfect.
I don't do it full time, but
You missed one of
enjoy
your
it, enjoy
important
doing it.
careers.
And I've done over 1,000 voiceovers and for commercials and audiobooks and things like that. So
You were also a Clearwater council member.
that's right. Yes,
That's right.
I spent 4 years,
Uh-huh.
4 wonderful years. I enjoyed.
Yeah, you
enjoyed
did a
my
great job.
service on the council from 2016 to 2020. Those 4 years.
For
And,
those who want to know, do you have any interest in running again?
no,
No?
I don't know if I would vote for me.
Oh, come on. You did a wonderful job.
It depends on who else was running.
That's true. That's the way it always is. Okay.
But I'm not a young fella anymore, and I really have other things that I would like to do, and I'm still teaching.
Mhm.
And so right now I would say probably not.
Okay. All right. What I want to know is what it is the Sons of the American Revolution, and why did you guys join?
Well, early on, my mother had a genealogy that's about 1.5 inches thick that traces back to my father's patriot, whose name was Thomas Young McIntyre Hemphill. And they were in the Old Fort area of North Carolina. This is just about 40 miles east of Asheville. And that's where they settled in a community. And I had known that for a number of years. And then I think it was Dr. Ustra, the president of Clearwater Christian, who indicated to me that, or he asked me if I had a descendant, or I had an ancestor rather, that was in the Revolutionary War. And I said, oh yeah, I've got a couple of them. And then I gave my history to our genealogist of the chapter. And we do genealogies for anyone who
Really?
thinks they might have an ancestor who participated in the Revolutionary War. And we'll do that for them for free.
Wow.
And then hopefully after that's done, if they do have a Revolutionary War ancestor, hopefully they'll join the
Yes.
Sons of the American Revolution. But we do that for free. And the contact is a gentleman by the name of Walter Arnold. And my email address is very simply JD McIntyre, it's MCENTIRE.SAR@gmail.com. And you can send me an email if you're interested, and I will put you in touch with our genealogist.
How wonderful. Now, I also have 1.5 inches thick of genealogy that goes back to the Mayflower, but I don't know if somewhere in the middle there's any American Revolution members. But you told me, because I was adopted at age 5 and my stepfather was a son of the American Revolution, that
Yes.
I am eligible to join. So
Yes.
for any...
Well, you're not eligible to join the Sons of the American
no.
Revolution, but
No,
you are
I-
eligible to join the Doctors of the
Thanks for
American
clarifying.
Revolution.
Yes, thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate that. Yes, no, I would not join the Sons. Okay. And Dr. Cundiff?
Well, I started with one page, typewritten, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that probably my grandmother or great grandmother typed, and it took the Cundiffs all the way back to when they first came in the 1600s, and they were farmers in Virginia, different places, ending up in Bedford, Virginia, and they. One of my ancestors, James Cundiff, was actually served on a jury in Jamestown, and I don't know what the verdict was, but
Isn't that
Well,
interesting?
I'd like to clarify something.
Sure.
The Sons of the American Revolution, we are really exist to honor our Revolutionary War ancestors. And we promote programs which honor that, such as the program that's coming up in January at the Clearwater Historical Museum. We also serve our communities and educating and inspiring future generations about the founding principles of our country. And if you go to the SAR.com website, you will find there approximately 185 different programs,
Really?
about 225 videos, and 175 websites where they reference things such as the History Channel, or there's a channel out there for Chronicles of the Revolution. There's a newspaper out there, which is Colonial Times newspaper, and it's really very interesting. So, but our service primarily is to educate and promote, educate our youth. We do that through a number of programs. We might get into that a little later.
We are going to get into it.
and we're always looking for new members too. And you don't have to have an ancestor who was in the Army or the Navy or the Marines,
Yeah.
or a foot soldier like my ancestors were. But if you did some service to the country and for the war effort, and I think Dwight, you were talking about one of your ancestors.
My great grandfather, who was also a patriot, before he became a soldier, he provided wagons for the
I'm sorry, what?
wagons.
Wagons.
You know, to haul supplies and things like that. Almost like today, if we supplied a car.
Oh, interesting.
He supplied a wagon or two, and then he became active and fought. That particular ancestor fought in the Battle of Kings Mountain, which is right on the border of North and South Carolina, and they say it was the turning point in the Southern campaign. And they defeated, there were 5 different militias. There was not a big organization, but it was 5 different militias from 5 different areas of the colonial South. They arranged themselves so that they kind of circled Kings Mountain, and then it's kind of like, okay, we'll synchronize our watches and we're going to go up the mountain at the same time. And that's what they did. And they started yelling and running up the mountain, took a shot. The British soldiers came out of their mountaintop lair, chased the Patriots down to the bottom of the hill. They had their bayonets and they didn't want to get too far, so they chased them as far as they could. They went back up the hill. The Patriots had reloaded. They came back up the hill, took their shots. British came out down the hill. Patriots reloaded, up the hill, take their shots, and they killed the commander of the British forces. But that was really almost the first civil war in the United States, because the people that were fighting with the Patriots were all like me. They just, they left their farms, they had their muskets, and they joined a militia. The Loyalists were the ones at the top of the mountains, but they were also farmers from the same areas. They joined the Loyalist forces. They capitulated, and there were the Patriots took 900 prisoners of war.
Wow.
On that day. The battle lasted 65 minutes.
That's an excellent story. And just to clarify, the muskets, is that what they were called?
Yes.
They only fired one shot at a time.
Yes.
And then you had to reload.
Yes.
Yep.
And you're wearing something where it's like a
This is the gunpowder
horn.
and then this is where they kept their bullets and other things that they needed.
It looks like a little miniature mail bag.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, what was that used for? And I said, well, right now it's used to carry my cell phone.
That's great. That's great. And let's talk a little bit about your outfit.
Okay. It's a simple outfit. It's just a pair of pants, like would have been worn by a farmer.
And they are pants. They go all the way to the ankle.
Yes. Yeah. Some only went halfway down the
breeches,
calf.
Yeah.
Like
Dr. Bob is wearing.
Dr. Bob has his colonial.
What do you call them?
With
I call them
buckles.
breeches only because I'm from New England.
I don't know if I can hold that.
Knickers.
They're like knickers. Yeah. they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. And we both have white shirts.
White shirts,
but,
poet shirts.
I've just got a vest. And if it's really cold out, there's another overcoat that goes that has a little bit fancier. It's got some fringes on it, but it's still basically the militia uniforms were made by their wives.
Mm-hmm.
They spun the cotton.
And they were farmer outfits.
They were farmers, and they came together to fight the British. One of the big things that brought people into the Patriot militia was at the Battle of Waxhaw, which was months before the Battle of Kings Mountain. And the British soundly defeated the Americans, but there were Americans who were trying to surrender. They were waving the white flag, and the British did not recognize the white flag, and they were killing people that were holding the white flag.
They didn't ever recognize the white flag? Or
Oh,
just
no,
in that
they
situation?
did, but that particular branch of the Loyalists did. Actually, it was the British troops.
Mm-hmm.
It so incensed the colonists that's why they had a large number of militias that came together to fight the battle at Kings Mountain. Because
and a lot of those were volunteer militias.
It was all the volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
It was like your local. If you had an Army National Guard unit, it was like your local Army unit. And they just, there was about 1,000 of them. There were five or six. The largest militia was 200. And then maybe you had a 200 here, a 200 there, and 100 here, and another 200, another 200 there. There were about 1,000 colonial militia, and the Loyalists numbered about 1,000 also.
Right.
And they had one British commander. His name was Major Ferguson, and Ferguson was shot and killed. They said he had something like 6 or 7 or 8 bullets in him.
Wow.
Yeah, they wanted him badly.
They wanted him. Okay. Dr. Bob, you, I don't think talked about your ancestor yet.
Well,
or your I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry. What do you call your outfit?
This would have been worn after the war started.
Mm-hmm.
The typical uniform of an enlisted man in the Civil War or something like this. Every state was a little bit different.
Yeah.
It looks fancy. You look like a general, but you weren't.
That
You were in an
primarily was an
My-
officer's uniform.
Mine was a 16-year-old fella who was named Isaac Cundiff, and he joined the Army after, it'd be a couple years after the war started.
16.
No, 16 years old, yes.
16 years old.
And he had to wait. He wanted to join earlier because his dad had been killed in an Indian battle that was instigated by the British governments of Pennsylvania and Virginia. This was at the Battle of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's Virginia back then, West Virginia now. And so Jonathan Cundiff was a member of that volunteer militia.
Yeah.
And there are a number of militia groups that got together to try to get rid of an Indian uprising along the Ohio River at Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
And it was the British governor of Pennsylvania and British governor of Virginia that were sort of leading this. And if you ask folks in Virginia, it was because they wanted to get rid of some of the militia forces before the war started. And so there were 100 militia soldiers that were killed in that battle by the Indians, and my fourth great grandfather was one of them. And at that time, my ancestor was, and they consider that a Revolutionary War battle, even though it was 6 months before the folks up in New England say the war started.
Interesting. Now, Doug, if he were here, he would joke that when you do your genealogy, everybody traces back to William the Conqueror. Do either of you trace back to William the Conqueror?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, Doug, I'm afraid you're wrong
Okay, so
on that.
that proves that theory wrong. And so when they started having uniforms, this is what it would look like. It looks like a colonial uniform.
Well, it looked actually a lot like the British uniforms.
Yeah.
Yes, it does,
Yes.
except different color.
Only it was not all red.
Right,
And
blue and red.
Yeah, and then it differed from state to state. There were 13 colonies, and each.
For instance, George Washington's uniform was a different color than this.
What
He had
color
the
was
base-
George Washington's?
It was buff, and it was blue, and it was white, but it was blue, buff, and white.
See,
Whereas that is
looked
blue,
at
red, and white.
so many paintings with George Washington, and I never noticed what he was wearing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, take a look real time if they show him in a color rendition.
And New York had slightly different. New England states had different colors.
You
They-
were
they
telling
weren't
me
all the
before the
same.
show that there is a colonial catalog that you can order
Yes.
uniforms, and not even uniforms. I'm sure. Do they sell women's dress as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Hats like that,
Tricorns.
tricorns. Yeah,
What do you call your hat? A farmer hat?
that's a farmer hat.
I like that hat. That's something I'd wear around every day.
Oh, okay.
So why did you join the Sons of the American Revolution, both of you?
Well, for me, I mentioned before about that typewritten one-page sheet that I don't know who wrote it. I think my great-grandmother wrote it, who I never met. But it had the genealogy, and I could see the connection to the American Revolution and the death of Jonathan Cundiff at the Battle of Point Pleasant. And I always was interested in joining it. And it wasn't until about 20 years ago that I could actually prove an uninterrupted line from me to my father to my grandfather.
Yeah, to the patriot ancestor.
And it wasn't until the death records from Virginia came online that I could actually prove my great-grandfather, who my great-grandfather, who his father was, and then I could settle that link, and then I could qualify to join.
Okay, I guess maybe I didn't ask the question correctly. Why did you join? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can trace back to the Revolution, American Revolution. But is there a benefit or
Well, the
joining?
biggest benefit I see is the with society today, and I've seen some television programs where students know nothing about the Revolutionary
That
War.
is absolutely correct.
And
that's sad.
I was presenting awards last year to the JROTC unit at a number of different high schools. And one of the things that I wanted to do, earlier this year, really, not last year, I wanted to see how many students realized what happened in May of 1775, I'm sorry. And, it was amazing that our students didn't even know about when the revolution started, why the revolution started, and they didn't know what the Declaration of Independence was.
Wow. See, I'm going to stop you.
Oh.
Growing up in Connecticut, every year they started with Christopher Columbus and then Jamestown, and they only reached, I don't know where they reached, but it never got into modern history. So I never really knew about, the Vietnam War. I think kids today have that opposite problem. I bet you they don't even know about the Vietnam War, but nobody's learning about the Civil War, the American Revolution.
Why did we separate from Britain? Things were going pretty well until a number of things happened. There was the French Indian War, and that depleted the coffers of the British government. And so they started taxing
tea.
American citizens, well, colonists. But
including tea, yes.
How many grievances are in the Declaration of Independence?
I do not.
26.
I guess I fell asleep during that.
Yeah. Some say 27, but 26. The British forced the Americans to quarter in their homes the British soldiers. They passed the Stamp Act, which got everybody excited because that applied to almost anything. And that really was kind of the last straw, so to speak. Well, there were a number of other things, but it's like, how does the Declaration of Independence start? Do people even know? And I loved history. That's one of the reasons I joined the Sons of the American Revolution.
That's a great answer.
To get your question.
Yes.
I loved history. And by getting a law degree, a law degree has a lot of things to do with history because a lot of our laws are based on the common law in England.
That's true.
And so
one of the reasons that I joined was because of because I love our country and I love its history. And I realized the price that our ancestors paid to give to us the America that we have today. And there is a huge price that was paid, and we should honor them. And I don't think we should ever forget the price that our ancestors paid to bring our little 13 colonies into 50 states like we have now.
That's correct.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful heritage that we have. And
250 years, correct?
250 years ago. And
we're going to take a short break, but I do want to get into the upcoming exhibit that's going to be here in Clearwater. It's a national exhibit, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll get into that. Just a short break, Ed.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
In 1955, the law firm now known as Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes made a decision. Instead of taking whatever cases came through their doors, they decided to focus specifically on personal injury. 64 years later, the law firm is one of Clearwater's longest-running personal injury firms. Available 24 hours a day with offices in Clearwater and throughout Tampa Bay, they're ready to put decades of experience to work for you if you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or injured due to someone's negligence or recklessness. If you feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or unsure about your next steps after being involved in an accident or after a loved one sustained serious injuries due to someone else's negligence, call Perinick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes at 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. That's 727-796-8282 or online at usalaw.com. Non-attorney spokesman.
Shop the largest selection of Guy Harvey apparel, artwork, and gift items at guyharvey.com. From the world-renowned marine wildlife artist, the Guy Harvey online shop features the latest in performance apparel, classic Guy Harvey t-shirts, decor for every room in your home, exquisite ocean-inspired jewelry, and unique gift items, including custom merchandise not available anyplace else. Browse an extensive catalog of original Guy Harvey works of art and a full range of beautiful reproductions. As with all Guy Harvey merchandise, a percentage of sales benefits the ocean conservation, research, and education work of the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation. The Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation will help ensure that future generations can enjoy and benefit from a well-balanced ocean ecosystem. Bring the undersea world into your everyday life at guyharvey.com. What do the most successful companies have in common? They leverage growth by forming valuable relationships and partnerships. Amplify Clearwater puts you in touch with accomplished business and community leaders that inspires networking and helps you navigate the best courses of action for your company. Become a member and instantly acquire a powerful edge over your competitors by forming strong connections with top business leaders and elected officials. Amplify Clearwater. One community, one chamber, one vision. Contact us at amplifyclearwater.com or call 727-461-0011. That's amplifyclearwater.com, 727-461-0011.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Kelly Kelly Show. I'm Kelly Kelly. I'm here with Big Ed Davis in the control room. He's the executive producer of the Tan Talk Radio Network, and Dwight McIntyre. And he is the president of the Clearwater chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. And Dr. Bob Cundiff is the chaplain of the Clearwater chapter of the Sons of American Revolution. And we were discussing why you joined and how kids today really have no knowledge of the American Revolution, the Declaration of Independence. And I found that fascinating, but I just learned something during the break that I didn't know. After years and years of studying the American Revolution, you told me that there were African Americans and Indians defending.
Yes, they fought on both sides.
I did not know that.
Yes. The other thing, participants. We also had support from the French, and we had support from Spain. And without that support, we probably wouldn't have won the revolution.
I'm sure. So is it possible for an African American to trace their genealogy back to the revolution?
Yes.
It is possible.
Yes.
That must be difficult, though.
It is. It's not a simple
not easy.
process, but it's doable.
It's doable.
And we do have African Americans who are members of the society. I don't believe we have any in the Clearwater chapter. We do have Indians that are members of the society.
Native Americans.
Native Americans.
What tribes would those be? Anything in the East Coast, really?
Well, there was a big confederation of the Indians up in the Mohawk Valley of New York.
Iroquois
Cherokee,
Nation.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
And,
up north toward
but yes,
Canada.
there were 6 tribes that were kind of united
Mhm.
into a organization. 5 went to the Loyalist side and 1 went to the Patriot side.
How interesting. I definitely wasn't taught about that. That's interesting. So,
Well,
do you
we-
have the
we
names
welcome-
of those? There's Pequot, Mohican, or that might be
I
one.
think it was the
Iroquois.
Oneidas that were
The Oneidas
that
went to
came to the
British
Patriot side.
Interesting. I remember that because the silverware name.
But don't quote me on that because
Okay.
I'm not completely sure.
So I'm
But
gonna,
we welcome members that can prove their descents of African Americans who, just the same as for us, who either rendered aid or actually fought. But here's an interesting statistic: African Americans fought in every major battle of the
Really?
Revolution. Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
And it was not pleasant. I mean, during the winter months,
Oh.
you hear about them eating their shoe leather.
Oh, it was tough.
It was tough.
It was tough.
I have also heard that women would dress up as men and fight.
Now, that did
Have you
occur.
heard that?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
that did occur.
Okay, but
Uh,
if a woman wanted to join, they would join the Daughters of the American Revolution.
That is correct.
Okay. And there is a national exhibit coming to Clearwater January 16th to 26th at the Clearwater Historical Society, 610 South Fort Harrison in Clearwater. And on each of those days, it's going to be 10:30 to 2.
Well,
And-
no,
No.
the exhibit is going to be open from 10 to 5, I believe,
Oh.
either 4 or 5. But we are going to have someone there from the Sons of the American Revolution, hopefully in colonial uniform. We've got some members whose uniforms don't fit anymore, so they will be wearing a blue blazer with their medals and their name tag. But what we intend to do is talk about battles. The exhibit is sponsored by the American Battlefield Trust and the Daughters of the American Revolution National Society. One of the interesting things, the Daughters of the American Revolution really don't get into battles that much.
No, I can imagine. I mean,
They don't talk about battles in their meetings.
no, I imagine, what do they talk about? They were nurses,
They were nurses.
cooks.
They had a presentation Friday
Mhm.
of Washington's guns.
Oh.
The author of Washington's Guns was there, and he gave about a 10 or 15 minute presentation. One other thing that is going to be at the Clearwater Historical Society out in the parking lot is George Washington's tent.
The actual tent.
The
No,
replica.
replica.
A
Of,
replica. Okay,
the
I was going to say,
replica-
wow, that must be one fantastic tent.
well, it is.
One of
It's-
his actual tents
it's-
is up in Philadelphia.
You mean
Yeah.
it survives?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
So this is a complete replica of George Washington's tent. And I don't know what days they're going to be there. I'm sure it's going to be on the American Historical website. George and Martha are going to be there.
Yeah.
And Abigail Adams is supposed to be there
So
on a
that
certain
was
day.
second president's wife.
Yes.
See, I did learn something.
Uh-huh. So the reenactor,
Mhm.
they're going to be there. But check the but the Clearwater Historical Society Museum webpage, and it will all be there as to what days and so on
What's
for
happening?
George Washington's tent and George Washington and Martha and Abigail.
Perfect. Okay, and you also told me that you do color guards for occasions.
Yeah.
Dr. Bob, you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I'm kind of not a regular member of the color guard, but as often as I can.
Where do you
and-
pop up?
Well, we have a lot of annual parades. The Bel Air parade is coming up in a few weeks, and I think Safety Harbor parade, Dunedin parade. I think we've been in the Clearwater parade also,
Yes.
haven't we, Dwight?
Yep.
And then any group that needs a color guard can contact us. We've been at several ball games at Phillies spring training. A year or two ago, we were at before Tropicana blew down. We were there when the Phillies played the Rays, yes,
Yeah.
and had a nice presentation there. That there's video of it floating around somewhere, and had a nice presentation on the big jumbotron.
It doesn't have to be any particular holiday like Memorial Day.
No.
You were telling me you have
Yeah. So
events
for
every
instance-
month.
For instance, Friday, the Color Guard posted the colors at the DAR chapter meeting.
Interesting.
So
Now,
we've
I forgot to ask you, do the daughters also dress up in colonial dress
on occasion, yes,
on occasion?
not at their
They don't
chapter
have a color
meetings,
guard,
but
obviously.
I'll give you an illustration. One of the things that we do is we support historic sites and celebrations. There's an old schoolhouse on the University of Tampa grounds, little one-room schoolhouse.
Did not know that.
And they needed funds to rehabilitate
Mhm.
the schoolhouse. And Clearwater, St. Pete, and Tampa, each of us contributed $500 to the restoration
Mhm.
of the old schoolhouse. So that's another one of the things that we don't talk about that we do.
And this is a nationwide membership, or is it worldwide?
Worldwide, we have chapters. I know there's a chapter in France. There's a chapter in London. I believe there's a chapter in Germany.
See, that surprises me. London.
Well, it's like
That's not the British side, is
my
it?
doctor is from England, and this year I got along with her fairly well, and so I wore my SAR T-shirt, and I said, I wore this especially for you today.
Perfect. And you have something coming up in April
Yes,
at Crest Lake Park.
yes.
Tell us about that.
You know, in 1775 and 1774, there was a lot of turmoil and, discussion and the seeds of rebellion and
Mhm.
all of that. Well, there was a big tree in the Boston Commons, and it eventually became known as the Liberty Tree because that's where all of these patriots met and discussed plans. Well, the British found out that they were all meeting under this Liberty Tree, and they cut it down in 1775. So one of the things that we want to do nationally is we want to have 250 trees dedicated by July 4th, 2026. And in April of this year, I'm not quite sure of the date yet, but I'm planning for April 17th
Mhm.
at Crest Lake Park. We are going to dedicate a Liberty Tree, and hopefully we'll have a number of dignitaries there. And it's just some way to get people to remember what happened 250 years ago.
Absolutely. Is that going to go in the Memorial Plaza
Yes.
there?
Yes, the
Is it an
Veterans
actual
Memorial,
tree?
the Veterans Memorial area,
There you
and
go.
the tree is already there, but we are going to dedicate a tree that is there as a Liberty Tree.
Perfect. I was envisioning a 2-foot tree with Liberty bells on
No,
it. No, that's
This
not
is
going to be the
this
case.
is a tree that is well established,
Mhm.
and that can be a problem planting a new tree in Florida.
Absolutely.
But this is a well-established
Well-established
tree. We've already worked with the Parks and Recreation people. We're working with a company that makes plaques. It's going to be a granite plaque that we put on the ground, and we're already sent out some invitations to the local mayor and the
I'll
council.
check my mailbox.
Well,
Yes, I know.
I'm going to invite you today,
Thank you. Thank you.
April 17th.
April 17th.
As
we
long
hope.
as the presentation is live on
That's true.
on Tan Talk.
That's okay. We'll make that happen. But I lost my train of thought. I hate that when that happens. As I
on
get
a
older,
side-
it happens
you're on a
more
si-
and more.
You're on a side rail.
It's a side rail, yes. I did want to get in real quick. You are a speech professor.
Yes.
And I was joking at the beginning of the show that Doug counts my okays and I count his uhs. And I asked what that was called. And you said it was called a filler.
Yeah, one of the terms is called a filler. Where
It's a filler.
you say something that doesn't mean anything. And are also
Just
fillers.
something, it fills in
Yeah.
space for no
Yeah.
reason. And
That's right.
we were talking that a
It's
common
okay.
one, yeah, it a common one is so. Beginning a sentence with so.
So
is actually the most recent one that has come in the last 10, 20 years.
Perfect. And well as well. Well, beginning a sentence with well.
Yeah.
I know Doug doesn't like that as an editor. All right. So we are going to look for you January 16th to the 26th
yeah.
at the Clearwater Historical Society, along with the Daughters of the American Revolution. And I sure hope they're going to be in dress as well. And is there going to be a American Revolution exhibit at all? Besides the tent?
Oh,
Besides
well,
Washington's
the
tent?
panels that are going to be
The panels.
inside the museum and the person that's going to be there. Hopefully, the schools are off that week. So hopefully we're going to get a lot of young people
Oh, that would be nice.
as a field trip maybe
Yeah.
to come to the exhibit. And that will certainly give us an opportunity to teach about.
Why are the schools, that's not Christmas break. Why would the
I
schools?
think it's spring break, or I don't know what it is.
maybe, okay.
No, certainly not spring.
If that's
It's
true,
just
I'll bring my
January.
grandsons.
Just isn't there a couple of holidays in there? Isn't President's Day
Probably.
in there? And one other one.
Say, Dwight, there's 2 minutes left.
Okay,
Do we want to make that presentation on air?
what's that? I've already given it
Okay.
to them.
They gave us
but-
a certificate of appreciation to the Kelly Show and to Tan Talk
Yes.
radio station. So Lola's going to put that somewhere around the studio, and I thank you very much for that. You also gave me a pin and a commemorative coin,
It's called a challenge coin.
a challenge coin.
Yes.
Explain that.
If we are somewhere and we're with you and I throw down my challenge coin and you don't have yours with us, you buy.
Oh, you know what? I love that. That's great. So, do you always carry yours?
I do not, no.
Nice. So, so if I see you in a restaurant, I'm going to have my coin.
There you go. I'll have to give you one, Bob,
Oh,
so
all right.
that you're protected.
That's true. So, real quick, what's the website for the Sons of the American Revolution?
SAR.com.
Perfect. And
No, SAR.org.
.org. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sure just typing Sons of the American Revolution, you'll find it. And you want numbers.
Thanks
Absolutely.
for inviting us. I'm glad to be with you today.
Okay. Thank you.
How about your producer? Is he eligible?
No, we ought to find out.
Thanks for listening to the award-winning Kelly Show on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There's been a stunning